Do you have any good travel stories?
Yeah, okay, give me like shrink the radius a little bit. I'll try to think of something crazy.
Well, I think I think we all know you for your Firefest, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't want you to dive into that too much. But any other crazy stories that you have, embarrassing, funny?
Um oh yeah, I was jumped by taxi drivers in Barcelona once. Yeah. A lot of people ask me like what's your favorite place to go to like when you're traveling, and what's your least favorite, and I always tell them Barcelona, and they're often like thrown back like what? You didn't like Spain? I'm like, "No, because we got jumped." So I to set it up, a lot of people may not know that back in the day I worked like just strictly in the EDM space as a touring videographer, and I toured with a Swedish DJ duo for like a year and a half. And um, in the summer, we were on this like 14-day Euro run, and our last stop on this tour was in Barcelona for a festival. And we landed, and oftentimes like when you go from country to country, you can expect to be in the airport for like an hour to hour and a half getting through customs, getting your bags. It's usually like a crew of 5 people. And so we land in the airport, we get through customs, we're in baggage claim for like a long time. And the tour manager's like, dude, I can't get a hold of our drivers. Like you always get picked up by like an executive car service, a private car service. I was like, I can't get a hold of these people. Like I don't know where they're at. And everyone got their bags and left. So we're like, well, let's just go wait on the curb. So we go out to the arrivals portion of the airport, and we get out there. I've never seen this before in my life. It looked like straight out of a dystopian movie. I'm looking around, and there's all these abandoned taxis. Like I'm talking 30 or 40 of them. No one out there. It's like completely desolate. And I'm just like, okay. No one else seemed to be like phased by it. And I'm standing there, and I get a tap on my shoulder, and I just hear a little whisper. It's like, "Hey, are you with the group?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Follow me." Very eerie and creepy. I'm like, "Huh?" And then another guy came up, like, "Hey, follow us," like being real weird. But the tour manager, like, he was like, "Oh yeah, these are the guys. Like, let's go." So we take all our stuff, and so we were walking. We leave the arrivals. We were walking for probably 10 minutes, just down the sidewalk, and then we turn a corner, and we turn the corner to like this like mini cul-de-sac, and there's two private vans there, like the executive cars, big vans, and they're like, "Yeah, here we're parked over here." I'm like, "Okay." So we start putting our stuff in the car. We're loading up, and the plan was me, tour manager, and the artist were in one car, and then the other production crew that has to go straight to site, we're taking the other car. And as we're loading up into one car, we see it was like two or three taxi cars pull up, screech, and stop right, and they block us in the cul-de-sac. And we look up. Dude, this happened so fast. We look up, and three taxi drivers come out. Uh, like two of them had bats, and we're just like, oh. So everyone's like, get in the car, get in the car. These guys are running after us. And I get in the car with the artist, and I think the tour manager got in there too. And like they get in the car, I come in, and as I'm going to shut the side of the door, I see one guy coming in to like try and grab the door. I shut it closed. I lock it. I'm like, oh, dude, I was scared shitless. And then, like in that, this all happened like probably in a span of 10 seconds, but it felt like 10 minutes. As I close the door, the rest of the crew, like our crew, are like running up to be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I just see them like doing this, and they just back away. So I'm like, oh, these guys, like, I don't know what's about to happen right now.
Shit.
So that, like, in that moment, it got dark. Then the back hatch of the van opens up, and uh, one guy starts grabbing our stuff and just chucking it out of the van. And then in that same moment, I hear this huge psh, psh. I look over, and one guy with the bat is busting up the windshield. They knocked both of the like side mirrors off, and they're just beating this van. So we're just in here. This car is getting beat to a pulp, all our stuff scattered everywhere. The poor driver, he was this like elderly man. He's just getting pushed around, and he's just like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. They do this. They throw all of our stuff out, demolish the outside of this van, and then they all just run to their cars and just dip out. And then we're just sitting there like, what just happened?
Holy shit.
Yeah. And dude, I was like, in that moment, I was like, I'm going to go home. I'm going to get a good desk job.
My career's done.
Yeah, I'm just going to rethink some stuff. So we get in the car and we just drive off. And turns out that the day we got to Barcelona, there was a huge protest between like the taxi cab union and private car service. So
Wow.
private executive cars, Uber, Lyft, there was like, and that's not uncommon. That's happened before, but
Yeah.
we get, and I'll put the video up on the screen here. I have a video of when we got to the hotel, the balcony of my hotel room. I'm overlooking like one of the main roads in Barcelona. And there's just a lot, like hundreds and hundreds of taxi cars. And they were all out there protesting. Everyone's outside of their vehicles, standing on top of their vehicles, just like hanging out, chilling. And so for the rest of that trip, we were just there for one night, and then we were going home. Luckily, the next day, we had to hire like private escorts, private police escorts, to walk us everywhere. So like we didn't leave the hotel unless we had like bodyguards around us, which was obviously just a precautionary thing. Like looking back on it, those taxi drivers weren't there to hurt us.
Yeah.
They were just giving the drivers like a heads up of like, yo, this is who you're messing with.
Yeah.
But we don't know that in that moment, dude. Like
Fuck.
to show up to a new country and then just 3 guys come out with bats and they run up to your car. I was like, we're toast.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, that was the least fun traveling touring experience I ever had.
That's crazy that you were with the artist at that same time too. Like it didn't just happen to the crew. It happened to you and the artist.
And the artist, yeah.
And the tour manager.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I was like terrified, dude. Homeschooled kid from Fresno, California. Like, I'm going home. This is why people don't leave town.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
This is why my parents homeschooled me.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, dude. Yeah, that's probably one of my least favorite travel stories.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was crazy.